I've owned, reviewed, and purchased dozens of robot vacuums over the last 3 years. And I've learned so many things that I wish I knew before. So I'm gonna share 5 non-obvious things that no one ever talks about. Some good and some bad. And I promise you haven't seen a video like this before on YouTube, and this is not sponsored. Now, starting with number 1, and this might seem kind of obvious, but the most important thing you can do is to buy the right vacuum cleaner for your home. And believe it or not, you can do that without breaking the bank. So to help with that, I've broken it down into 5 simple questions. Do you live in an apartment with mostly carpet? Or do you have mostly hard floors like tile or hardwood? Do you have pets that shed? Do you have more spills and more mud or more dry dirt? Now, if you have mostly carpet, you're gonna want a robot vacuum that has really good airflow, suction, and pickup performance. But what most people don't talk about is that for the most part, you need to get a flagship robot vacuum to get that solid carpet pickup. However, I'll mention different robots, including more affordable ones, as we go through the video. A super common question is, what's the best robot that doesn't have a mop? And the short answer is, most robots that are actually worth buying now include a mop. So if you're looking to save money because you don't need a mop, but you still want really good carpet pickup, take a look at the Dreamy D30 Ultra or the Mova P10 Pro Gen 2. Now, both the Dreamy and the Mova are really the same robot, but with pickup power on carpet that matches very expensive robots. The Mova has a slightly better base station, but if you're looking for an even more affordable alternative, check out the Mova P10 Pro Gen 1. Pickup isn't nearly as strong, but it is better at avoiding cables because it has a camera. Now, if you're watching on a TV, you might see a pop-up on screen that you can scan with your phone to check out the latest prices. And there's gonna be links down below as well. Now, if your house is like mine with a lot of hard floors, a robot vacuum can really save you a lot of time with daily cleaning. So you'll want to consider a robot with a good mopping system. There are 3 basic type of mop systems. The most common one is spinning mop pads. Second, roller mops are becoming more common. And then there are mop plates. So here's my quick take. If you got a messier house with kids or mud or wet messes, just get a robot with a roller mop. It's just gonna work better. And that's because the roller mop can just absorb a bigger spill and handle a bigger mess than a robot with mop pads. Robots with a roller mop have a scraper that removes dirty water and brings it back to the base station. And it also continuously wets the roller mop with clean water as they clean your floors. However, what a lot of people don't really mention is you don't need a roller mop. For most homes, a robot with spinning mop pads is gonna work absolutely fine, and you're gonna spend less money. And they're actually less complicated too, so less likely to break. For a robot with spinning mop pads, the best one we've tested lately are the Mova Mobius 60, which has mop swapping, the Roborock Saros 20, and the Dreamy X60. And for less money, the Roborock Curve or the Mova V50. Now, if you do want a roller mop, the best ones right now are the Narwhal Flow 2 and the Narwhal Flow, the Ecovacs X12, and the Roborock Curve 2 Flow. For less money, the Ecovacs T80 is great, and we're currently testing the Ecovacs T90 and the Eufy E28. Now, I've got 6 things in this video, and the last one is actually the most important, but the least discussed. But before we get to that, we need to talk about pets. If you've got pets, there's a few things that I've discovered. However, not all pets are the same. 2 Siberian Huskies shed way more hair than my 2 Siberian cat boys. If you've got a huge amount of pet hair, no robot is gonna get it all. But you really wanna look for a robot that has an anti-tangle brush roll. And in the last 2 years, it's much more common, and they're quite good now. I definitely recommend that you use your robot to sweep daily, and you might want to mop as well. The best anti-tangle brush rolls right now are on Roborock and Dreamy models. A Narwhal is pretty good too. Roborock has multiple models with this duo divide style brush roll that's really good at avoiding hair getting tangled in the rollers. This comes in the Q-Revo Curve line, like the Curve and the Curve 2 Flow, and the Saros 10 and the Saros 20. Dreamy and Mova also have an excellent double brush roll design that's very effective. The Dreamy X50, the X60, and the new L60 series have it. And Mova has it on their V50 and Z60. And most Narwhal robots have an anti-tangle brush roll as well, such as the Frio Z10 and Flow series. One thing I've learned about robot vacuums and pets is not so nice, and we'll get to that in a minute. But before that, we need to talk about automatic dirt detection, or lack of it. Now here's something that not a lot of people talk about, and I'm sure you've seen a lot of sponsored videos that make this claim, but the reality is in 2026, not a lot of robots can actually detect dirt and stains with anywhere near 100% accuracy. The best robots will detect dirt and stains about 70 to 80% of the time. And if your robot doesn't have a camera, it's going to detect it 0% of the time. And cameras are found usually on the more expensive robots. We test automated stain detection for every robot that claims it can do it. And the ones that do it best are all the high-end flagship models. The Roborock Saros 20, the Dreamy X60, and the Mova Mobius 60 are all pretty good with this right now, but again, none are perfect. And I've tested some flagship models that are supposed to be able to detect stains, but after testing over and over and over, some of them couldn't do it at all. And related to stain detection is poo detection. The poopocalypse is a real thing. It actually happened to my friend a couple years ago with an older robot and a cat who just missed the box. It wasn't pretty, and no, I'm not going to show photographs. Can you just imagine a robot vacuum running over some poo and then cleaning the rest of your house for a couple hours? You're going to need some hazmat suits for that. So what's the best strategy for that? Well, it's actually two things. First, I'd never run the robot at night or when I wasn't home, and I would definitely go and check the house before you start the robot vacuum just to make sure there's no surprises. That's especially true if you have puppies or kittens. Second, get a newer robot with a camera. Now, most flagships today are pretty good, but again, none are perfect. For the best pet waste detection, I'm going to recommend the same robots that I did in the last section, such as the Roborock Saros 20 and the Dreamy X60. And Narwhal actually has some pretty good systems too in the Flow and the Flow 2. And most Eufy products are pretty decent as well. We're going to cover the hidden side of maintenance next, but the most important finding I actually left for the end, so be sure to stick around for that. Let's talk about maintenance. Here's the reality. Most robot vacuums are pretty much maintenance-free for the first 90 days. However, what a lot of people forget is that you really should clean the filters about every 30 days. They're going to get clogged up, and that's going to reduce suction. And that's something that no one really talks about. Now, you do need to clean the sensors as well, especially the cliff detection sensors. If they get dirty, your robot might do some acrobatics down the stairs. Now, you'll also need to spend some money on bags, although they're really not very expensive on an annual basis. And if you want to use detergent, most manufacturers recommend that you use their proprietary brand. Now, I found that if you mix brands, sometimes you'll see bubbles on the floor or maybe some streaks, but I'll leave that up to you. And often the app will show you when you need to maintain something like getting a new side brush. Things like side brushes are actually consumable items, but a lot of people don't think about that. If you found this video helpful so far, it would be delightful if you would click that subscribe button. And finally, here's the thing that I don't see people talking about at all on video, but is actually the biggest problem with robot vacuums today. And that's the software. It's what you expect a robot vacuum to do, but it doesn't do it, or it does it wrong. On Reddit, there's a post about a shark robot that won't map a home anymore, or this robot that gets lost. Now, a lot of this is at the firmware layer, but in my experience, you've got these highly advanced robots with a lot of great hardware, and the software just isn't as developed as the hardware is. There's a lot of scenarios in a home that just haven't been fully thought through. For example, the robot might look for a base station on the second floor of my home, even though it should know that the base station is on the first floor. Another one I see commonly mentioned is failing to clean a black carpet. And that's because the edge sensor thinks the black carpet is a staircase and thinks it's going to drop over the edge. And as good as these robots are, when you pay for a flagship robot vacuum, you expect it's going to work pretty well and you expect it's going to do the basics pretty well. But sometimes they just don't. Sometimes they miss an area, or they might just get stuck. Even though there's many robots that claim to be able to identify hundreds of objects or even an infinite number of objects, they still have trouble avoiding obstacles. And part of the issue is how many sensors you're paying for on that robot and how good is the software and the firmware that ties it all together and makes it all work as a cohesive unit. Think of it this way. The best companies produce a robot vacuum that is more like an Apple product where the hardware and software work really well together and you get a good user experience versus buying a cheap Windows PC where it works pretty well a lot of the time, but it still misses some of the basics and just doesn't quite get it right. The best robots, in my experience, use a combination of a camera, 3D structured light, a LiDAR sensor, or a time of flight sensor, all in one device. And yes, these robots are the most expensive ones, and they're also the ones that I mentioned a number of times in this video. If you want to see the best robot vacuums we've tested this year, click here or here, and the best budget robots are going to be right over here.